Hey everybody, James from SecurePoint Solutions, and bringing you another video to address something else. So today we're going to talk about the three common things a cybercriminal might want from your computer. Now, it doesn't matter if this computer is on a residential home computer, if it's a school computer, or if it is a business computer. They will take one or three of these things from you or do them. Just an interesting update. It's been a while since I've done a video. I'm actually finishing up a new book. I'm entitling it Hoping Nobody Hacks You Security by Optimism and Prayer. Just kidding. It's a terrible idea. Get actual security. All right, moving on. So, the mind of an attacker. Well, attackers want these things. First, they want to steal your data, anything that is profitable to them. Now, what is profitable data to an attacker, to cyber criminal? Well, things that they can either use themselves, so credit card numbers, social security numbers, dates of birth, home addresses, any kind of information like that. If they don't want to use it themselves and create that risk of actually being arrested for a crime, a financial crime or something like that, then they may actually sell them. Those are commonly sold out on the dark web, and they're not sold one or two or three sets of data. These are sold in blocks of hundreds, whether that's credit card numbers or social security numbers. The price of them, it varies. It's very much a market, just like any other item. There's a supply and there's a demand. The next thing is ransom your data for profit. So an attacker may have already taken any information that they can make use of. One thing I didn't mention before, W-2s. We're getting close to tax season. W-2s are a common target where the attacker will simply take a W-2 and file a tax return on your behalf and claim whatever return. They're not going to go through any hard math. They're not going to do anything other than just a straight 1040 easy get as many dollars as they can. It's free money to the attacker. That creates problems for you though. So back to the ransoming your data. Well, after they've taken whatever they might want, they could simply just turn around and ransom your computer, making it so that now you cannot do business. You can now not get access to the to photos, to business data, to personal information, things that you might need. And then at that point, you have two choices. Can you restore from a backup? And we've talked a little bit about disaster recovery, and we're going to talk more about it in future videos. Can you restore from a backup? Or do you need to pay that ransom? There's different schools of thought. People will argue over should you pay, should you not. That's really going to depend on what that data is, how critical is it to get it, and then also just, or do you have the alternative of can I restore from a backup and kick the bad guy out? The last thing of this is user systems to commit further crimes. Now, what I mean by that is if I'm an attacker and I want to hack into something big, we'll say like Target, we'll pick on them. If I want to hack into Target, well, if I directly connect my computer and try to get into Target, that leaves a pretty good fingerprint that Target security team would be able to say, hey, this guy is connected here in Iowa. Let's call the cops and let's get him. So a better option for me is to try to hack into somebody else's computer. And from there, establish a set of tools that I can then use to go after a target. Even better is if I can hack into multiple layers. So going from one computer, hacking into another, hacking into yet another, and put as many other people's devices, if that makes sense, put as many devices between me and target. And then actually start doing the things that I need. This is even this creates even more so other layers when people are doing this from overseas. because a lot of countries do not have the same level of monitoring, the same level of agreements with the United States. So they might not be as apt to help out the US government or help out a US company to try to track back to somebody that's living in Eastern Europe or someplace else. Also, in some cases, an attacker might actually gather multiple devices, as tens of thousands of devices, compromise them in a way that they can then control them. That's that term botnet that you see here on the screen. A botnet is essentially sort of a zombie army of computers or other devices, IP cameras, smart crock pots, anything that has a chip and connect to the internet could potentially be compromised in a way that an attacker can then use it. And your smart slow cooker, it's not super fancy. It's not going to run full-blown programs. But if you tell that smart crock pot or your smart fridge to go out to Facebook and try to ping Facebook over and over and over, well, one crock pot's not going to take down Facebook. Maybe 50,000 crock pots might put a hamper on Facebook or any other operation. Years ago, there was a botnet that was created that shut down Twitter for about 8 hours. A bunch of other websites were also shut down, but the main one was Twitter. And it's largely believed that botnet was sort of a weapons demonstration to show potential criminals, hey, there exists a capability. This Mirai botnet is what it was called. This botnet would allow a bad guy to take down a whole website for as long as they wanted, or at least until that website could move services elsewhere. So the three things there, very simple. Steal your data that they can then sell or use themselves. Ransom that data for profit, or use your own computers against you and against other people. A lot of the tools that these attackers are using, they're publicly available. Most of your low-grade attacks are based on tools that are just copied from the internet. These are heavily automated. In my previous talk about dispelling security myths, we talked about the analogy of a burglar going down a street. That doesn't take a lot of skill. You can walk, you can look. An attacker can use tools that are automated largely to do that same kind of stuff. And again, really trying to push this to people. There are tools out there that can scan the entire internet in about 15 minutes and render a level of result that would make an attacker then find an address interesting. Again, go back and watch the other video. I kind of go into it a little bit closer, a little more detail, but it's out there. These tools that aren't necessarily free, along with malicious software, malware, these things are sold. This is the equivalent of people selling illegal weapons, selling drugs, things that you shouldn't have. Somebody should not be in possession of a computer virus, but if you know where to go and if you have the right kind of money and you know who to talk to, you can buy these things and you can actually go out and use them. Please don't do that. Make my job a lot harder and people that work in my industry a lot harder. So that's really the gist of this one. I just wanted to talk briefly about why would an attacker maybe be interested in your computer, whether you have one computer or 100 computers. If that one computer has credit card information, then it's pure profit to the bad guy. If your 100 computers all have the same kind of password and the attacker can get in and use those 100 computers to try to attack another business, then again, it's low maintenance work. If you want to learn more, if you want help with your residential or your business computer systems from a security standpoint, please reach out to me, info@secureps.net. You can find us at www.secureps.net. You can also find us on LinkedIn and Facebook. If you reach the end of this video, I thank you for watching. and please check back for more. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you.